Spencer here from the Romford Film Festival, and this year we decided to do something a little bit different. Having had at the Mercury in Romford the Fighting Spirit Film Festival in December, just as we went into the last lockdown, I spoke to the creator of the festival, Sue, and we spoke about her doing a kind of like fighting spirit on the road here as part of the Romford Film Festival. So I am now joined by Sue Cole from Fighting Spirit.
Thank you very much, Spencer. It's a lovely introduction.
Thank you very much. Is that right? You are the founder?
Yeah, I'm a co-founder. There was another gentleman called Paul that helped co-found it. We had worked together on a martial arts festival, and he said that he liked working with me. And then I just said I always wanted my own martial arts and action film festival. So then I didn't hear from him for a year. And then out of the blue in 2016 in January, he called me and said, "Hi Sue, do you still want to do that festival?" And that was the opening line, and there was no introduction. And I remembered what we said. I went, "Yeah, of course." And he said he had a cinema, and I'd been doing some bits of film jobs, and I had met some people who had been making action films but putting them on YouTube. And I really love cinema, and I just thought it's such a shame that they're on YouTube. Wouldn't it be good if we could put them in the festival as well? And then thinking about how Pixar used to do their films, where they'd play like a short film before the feature, in my head I thought maybe there's a way to promote these short films by putting them before a feature, because I guess in my head I'd sort of thought that it's quite hard to get people to come and watch films if they don't know anything about the film or who's in it. But if you put a short film with a feature, maybe they would. But actually a lot of the filmmakers came to support their films as well, and so we mixed it and matched it a bit. So some of the short films before features, and then we played some of the short films in a session on its own. So it kind of started from that really, and then we did managed to do it one the year after, and it's been going 5 years now. It's quite crazy to think about it like that, really.
And how does it feel now that you're an established? Because like us in Romford, we're first of all we like the little festival, and now you've been going 5 years. You're kind of more established. How has that growth been over the last 5 years? In terms of audience and participation and how people view the festival.
I still pinch myself, to be honest. Sometimes I'm still thinking, I can't believe we have a martial arts and action film festival, but. Basically, I suppose every year it's kind of almost doubled itself, except for when COVID set in. That did actually have an effect on everything. But what was nice is when we put the competition for short films on Film Freeway, we started to notice we were getting entrants from countries that I did not know would know who we are. So there was entrants from like China and Brazil and Argentina, and last year, I think, was it last year or the year before, we had some from Australia and New Zealand and South Africa. And I think it was in the third or fourth year, I can't remember now, but some of the filmmakers came over from America, and I remember thinking, that's amazing that they've come to kind of see their film. But it made a really nice spirit and atmosphere and community, and that's what's really nice. And some of the feedback we get is that they feel like in the UK there is quite a strong scene, I suppose, for action films. And I kind of feel that, I suppose, because we are doing the festival, we're kind of in a bit of a bubble where it's sometimes difficult to see outside. So it's quite nice to hear those comments from people. And now we've got some judges, so we're very lucky to have Cynthia Rothrock as one of our judges. That's probably one of my humble brags. And Scott Adkins is one of our patrons, and Ross Boyask, who's showing a film here at Romford this year as well. And also you've got Brian as well, who's done some big films as well. So what's really nice is to see some of these filmmakers who we showed their short films in the first year, and now they're going on to make feature films, and we're hoping that they're going to inspire some of the up-and-coming filmmakers in the future. So in that sense, the growth has been seeing their achievements and accomplishments, and also having people come to the festival who really enjoy it and look forward to kind of seeing what we're going to do next, I guess, and hopefully some of them come this time as well.
It's funny that you mentioned Cynthia Rothrock, because I always remember when China O'Brien came out, I always remember being really excited because she was really pioneering. At that time, there were no female action hero stars, and there were so many films by her in such a short period. How did you approach the idea of working with her?
So I know, as a female myself, that I've always liked watching the films, and they're really inspiring, and I'm also training as well, so I'd always looked to people like Jet Li and Jackie Chan, but I think as a female, I did feel a bit frustrated that there weren't many female role models for me, and so I spoke to a gentleman called Samuel Kwok, who's a Grandmaster of Wing Chun, and he came and did a demonstration for us when we did the Ip Man 4 screening, and he was very kind and put us in touch with Cynthia Rothrock. But also at the same time, Scott Adkins was also chatting to her as well, so I think through word of mouth there, that kind of helped her kind of want to kind of get involved and find out who we are. And so I kind of messaged her and said, would you be interested in being involved with the festival somehow, and talked about what we do and what we're trying to do, which is to try and, I suppose, make the genre of martial arts action to be recognised, because in the Oscars and the BAFTAs, they don't currently recognise stunts in the awards. A lot of the other disciplines do, but not action and stunts. And because I really love the films, I kind of feel they need some recognition. But also, I think as a genre, some of the actors that are in it are getting older now. I wanted to sort of see if we could help support up-and-coming performers, because you need that kind of legacy or cycle to kind of have a future. So I kind of told that to her, and she kind of liked that as well, and she said she'd love to be on board. So when we select all the films, she watches all of the selection and is one of I think we've got about 6 judges now, and so she's one of those. And for the filmmakers, it's a real kind of boost to know that Cynthia Rothrock is watching their film. And I think I would be really excited too if it was my film. So aside from winning an award, you know that perhaps one of your role models or heroes is watching a film, and the same with Scott as well. So it kind of came about from a mixture of Scott and Grandmaster Samuel Kwok.
So just to get this right, sorry, I'm a bit confused here. So is this going to be your 5th year, or is this going to be your 6th year?
This is going to be our 6th year. Yeah.
So
yeah, we had the 5th year in the middle of COVID, and like you said, as you correctly said, it was just in time before COVID shut it down, and we kept it simple because we wanted to make sure it's safe. But it felt important to kind of let the filmmakers see their films on a cinema screen, and even if lots of people didn't come, it's just having that opportunity, because if you leave it too long, it's like a window of opportunity. After a while, then you get to the end of the sort of festival circuit, and then you're looking to kind of put your film perhaps on video on demand or online to kind of go on to help push it to be a feature if you want to, or you're on your next project. So it kind of felt important to do it then.
So what are your plans for 2021? Hopefully returning to your usual venue.
Yeah, at the usual venue, but I really wanted to do something, like you said at the beginning, here again, because we really had a great time here. It was really amazing to kind of come to Romford. The screen's amazing, and all the staff and team were lovely, and I think most people that came really sort of gave really good feedback and said they liked it too. So, but we did have some people that just went to Stratford anyway, because I think people are just so used to being there. So yeah, we're going to go to Stratford again this year. It's September the 11th. So it's actually, if things stay as they are, the same weekend that Shang-Chi comes out, which is actually a Marvel martial art film as well, which I think works quite nicely. And we're probably just going to do the one day again, because with COVID, we want to make sure that people are safe, and it's quite hard to plan, isn't it? I'm sure you understand. So I wanted to keep it simple, but try and have some quality. So we'll have short films, because we've got the sort of deadline for us to kind of make our selection in a few weeks. I'm sure Wayne will remind me again. And then we're sort of settling some feature films at the moment, and a martial art demo. And then sadly, 2 of the people that were involved with the festival this year, in previous years, passed away this year. So there will be a little bit of a tribute towards them as well, and the award ceremony. So yeah, but it's such a community that you kind of have to recognise people anyway. So that's pretty much what it's going to be this year, and I'm looking forward to it as well.
Excellent. And just quickly talk to us about a couple of the films that shone out from you last year's selection.
I mean, we're showing some this year actually. So you've got Officer Down, which was it's a bit darker than some of the films, but what's quite nice is when you've got, because it's all action, we don't really want to see the same. We want to see variety and creativity. And Officer Down is, I think at the time we had the shootings by the police of someone in America, and Officer Down was something that had our team definitely discussing about it, not just as a film but also the issues, because if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil too much, but it had like a message as well, which was quite interesting, and the acting is really good. It's quite tense and almost a thriller, but the action is really good. So that one I would recommend watching if you can get a chance to at some point. The other one was Red, which is Beau Fowler. So he's quite a seasoned filmmaker. He did a film called Express Delivery in the previous year, and it won lots of awards, and people really kind of recognised it for its choreography acting and also dialogue, and Bo's acting, he definitely goes into character when he's doing it, and Sonny, who's also in that film, is quite a good offset to his character. But in Red, Bo's come back and he's kind of got a darker story where it's kind of, I suppose, to do with smuggling and illegal practices within organisations, and he is a ex-military guy who has a daughter, and he's kind of got that kind of Liam Neeson Taken thing about him, where he's like one-man army and can go and deal with these people. But it's got really good acting, it's got good action, and it's got moments of tenseness as well, and it does leave you kind of guessing about what's going to happen. So that one did really well at the festival, and I think the judges really liked it as well for like production values. It's a short film, but it looks like it has a really high budget and very professionally done. Some of the other films that we're showing with you this year, you've got another film called Chopsticks, which was actually by a guy called Aidan Sussex, and he just graduated from uni, so it was like his first short film after he left uni. And what's interesting about Aidan is that he's also written a musical when he was at uni, which had puppets, and it was like almost a puppet that was investigating a crime in a hospital. But in Chopsticks, it's about a brother and sister who are on opposite sides, and they've got like a rivalry thing going on, and the main character is a female as well, and the main brother, and they have some amazing fight scenes. And if you've come to Fighting Spirit Film Festival, you'll recognise a lot of the people in there, because some of the guys that are in it have done demonstrations or have been other short films, and that was a film that really showed me that as a festival we are actually bringing people together, because those people had connected and chosen to work together, which I think was really nice for us as a festival, I think. So that's a good one. There's another one called Tran and Novak, which is...
Can you say that again?
Tran and Novak.
Because I was uncertain how you pronounce that. Yeah. Someone asked me to actually pronounce that the other day, and I was really struggling. I may have got it wrong myself. Apologies, Jean-Pierre and Godfrey, if I've got that wrong. But that one is quite interesting, because it's a French-spoken film. It's got martial arts. It's got John Paul Lee in it, actually, who's gone on to make some feature films. Oh, the other film that you've got actually this year that was from last year is The Fat Lady Sings. That one's got almost like a film noir type feel, I suppose, with the filming, and it's based on a gambling game that's going on. They're playing a card game, I believe, and in it they're kind of almost doing psychological games on each other, and someone's telling a story, and they're retelling something, and then you're getting to see the action as it's being retold. And that one's quite nice, because it's kind of not just pure action, you're kind of skipping in and out of it, and you're following it, and again there's an element of like you're not sure what's going to happen, and again the production values are good, but they're all very different because of the way they've done it, and it's quite nice to see the directors having their own style and interpreting their narrative with action and martial arts in it. Yeah, cool.
And you've also got another, I think I haven't reeled all them off, but there's one called The Kid, which is a short one by Nicholas Wenger, and that one Nick's told me that he's looking to kind of develop that into a feature. It's only about 5 minutes long, and it actually won Best Film in the year that we had it. And it's a science fiction, and we don't actually get many science fiction martial art films, but this young kid has special powers, and he gets into a fight. So it's really kind of all it is, but the way it's done and executed is presented really well, and when you watch it you can see, actually I'd like to see these characters develop more, and I'd be interested in the film from that. So there's that one. I'm trying to think what else we've given you now, actually. I've said Red, Officer Down, Fat Lady Sings, Chopsticks, The Kid, Tran and Novak. There's 2, 3 more, isn't there?
So just a quick recap. When is the Fighting Spirit Festival 2021 going to be again?
It's going to be the 11th of September at Stratford Picture House.
And when do you think roughly tickets are going to go on sale?
Probably 6 weeks beforehand.
Okay, cool. Well, I, for one, will definitely be coming,
and
it'll be lovely to see it in its proper home.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this, make sure you attend, because they have a lot of varied style of movies within that action genre, so it's really worth a look.
If you come, would you mind presenting one of the awards?
All right.
Please.
Yeah, of course I will.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.